someone asked you right now, where does your work actually come from? What would you say? Most builders say word of mouth, and that's the problem, okay? Because word of mouth isn't a strategy. It's luck, it's organic, it happens naturally, and it's working. And in this video, I want to show you why it's the most dangerous position you can put your business in. The builders I speak to who are struggling right now almost all have one thing in common. They've never had to go and find work. Work always found them. Referrals, repeat clients, mates of mates, family. It worked great until it didn't. I was on a call recently with a builder doing over $2 million a year, and he said something that stuck with me. We've always been busy with word of mouth, and that's why we're so bad at this part. And we're talking about marketing. And the scary thing is, he's not alone. That's most builders. This builder runs a residential building business, and he's been in the industry for over a decade, and he's never once needed to advertise. He's always had referrals from past clients, builders he'd subcontracted for previously, his mates recommended him, and work was just showing up. Last year was their best year they'd ever had. Pipeline was full, team was busy, everything felt solid. And then the industry tightened. Interest rates hit. Clients started pausing projects. The referrals didn't stop, but they slowed down. And for the first time, he'd realized that they had no idea how to go about getting work. His exact words to me was, "We've always been busy with word of mouth. That's why we're so bad at this part. All of a sudden, the industry tightens a bit and now we're struggling." And he went and tried running social media ads by himself. It didn't work. He looked into Google, didn't know where to start. He had no website that had converted, no CRM, no follow-up process. None of it ever mattered until now. Referrals hadn't gone away, but they weren't filling the pipeline anymore. See, this is the problem. Word of mouth feels like a strategy, and we almost wear it like a badge of honor. I don't advertise. Advertising is for the weak. Me, all referrals. That's how good I am. I only get referrals. Like you meant it, right? Word of mouth feels like a strategy. It's not. Word of mouth feels like a strategy because it produces real results. Jobs come in, the phone rings, the business grows, but there's one critical difference between the strategy and luck. A strategy is something you can control. Luck is something that happens to you. When a builder runs on referrals exclusively, three things are true and they usually don't realize. They haven't learned how to generate demand. They've only learned how to respond to it. They don't actually know where their best work comes from. They just know it came from someone who knew someone. And they have a single point of failure. If the referral network slows down, there is no plan B. None. The other trap, because referrals feel organic and effortless, builders often conclude that paid marketing doesn't work. All right. You got to remember, I say this all the time. Referrals are going to be your best lead source. I'm not saying don't work off referrals. I'm not saying don't accept referrals. I'm not saying referrals are bad. I'm saying referrals are comfort, and comfort is a killer. The goal isn't to replace referrals. The goal is to make sure referrals are not the only source of income. You want to make sure you're getting jobs from other avenues. There's three sources that you kind of get work from. The first one is your referrals and repeat clients. So think of these as the warmest type of lead you're going to get. This stays, right? This is what most people tend to have automatically, but the goal is to make it systematic, not passive. Ask for referrals deliberately. You need to build a process around this. So you need to make sure that you're asking people and ask them at the peak of their excitement. Do you know anyone else that could use our services? Do you know anyone else we can help with this? It's not that fucking hard. You'll be surprised how much more you will get just by asking. Most builders wait for the referral to happen. The best ones prompt them. If you've done a great job, most people want to share the great thing with someone they know or someone they care about. This will be your highest converting source, and it costs you nothing. All right. Source number two, organic search, your slow burn stuff, your brand building, setting up your Google business profile, free, getting SEO done, slow burn, long-term play, right? And a website that actually converts. This takes months, not 3 months. Like I have clients who don't get results for 12 plus months. This takes months to build, but once it's working, it runs without a cent of ad spend. And this would be the one that gives you, I reckon, the most stable inbound leads. Like when you're sitting on platforms and your website or your online presence has traffic consistently generated to it, this pays dividends in the long run. I was speaking with a client the other day and we'd started SEO with him. And he was like, oh, well, if it takes, 10 months for us to get one lead, that's not worth it. And I was like, no, it takes 10 months for you to get into the position where you get a lead in that month. But guess what happens in month 11? You get another one. And then month 12. So it's not 10 months to get a lead. It's 10 months to get into the position where you get a lead a month or 2 leads a month or 5 leads a month or 10 leads a month. We have clients doing over 30 leads a month. you need to put yourself into that position. And if you don't do it, it doesn't happen naturally, right? Even though it's called organic, you have to influence it. You have to make sure you're doing the right things to make sure you end up there. And you either go and learn and invest your time and make the changes online, or you pay someone to do it. And then the third source is paid or active ads. So I want you to think tap on, tap off. So something you can be like, hey, next quarter's looking light. Let's run some ads, because we want to generate some interest. We want people to come through. You can do Facebook ads, you can do Google ads, you can do both, depending on your job type or ad budget. This is the dial you turn up when the pipeline's thin, and you can turn this down when you're full. But I want you to factor one thing in. You need to understand how long your lead life cycle is in your business. If you build $5 million homes, it takes way longer for someone to make a decision on who gets to build their $5 million home than what it takes for someone who gets to do their $50,000 bathroom remodel. You need to understand this because people expect to turn on Google ads and pick up a $5 million lead. And it's like, that's not how it works. Someone see your Google ads, have to see them for a period of time. But if you understand your business and your lead life cycle and your clients and how long it takes, you can turn them on at the right time because you should be planning ahead. You should be forecasting. Okay. Most builders try this once and it doesn't work immediately. And then they conclude paid ads just don't work for construction, or they don't work for my business, or they don't work in my area. And what actually happened was they had an accountant for the right time, or they didn't have the right follow-up process, or they had no offer or no patience. When this is built properly, it means you don't struggle when referrals go quiet. It means you don't struggle if paid ads aren't working right now today. It means if SEO didn't get you any leads this month, you aren't under pressure. The point isn't to run all three at full throttle simultaneously. The point is to have all three available so that when one slows down, you're not starting from zero. Referrals are great. Don't get me wrong. Referrals are amazing. But if they're your only source of work, you don't have a business strategy. You have a lucky streak. And guess what happens to all lucky streaks? They end. The builders who stay consistently busy aren't the ones who get the most referrals. They're the ones who built a system where referrals are one layer of a 3-layer approach. And when one layer slows down, the other two carry the load. You don't need to become a marketing expert. You just need to stop having one single point of failure. If there was only one grocery store that could feed your family, and then that grocery store closes down, you're in the shit. The goal is to have more than one channel that feeds into your business. If you want to know which one of these resources makes the most sense to build first for your specific business, you can drop a comment below. I will personally reply, or you can join our school group. We share how to generate leads, run ads, create content, all specific to your business, and it's 100% free. I'm also in the group, and if you message me directly or if you ask a question, I'll jump in and answer and help wherever I can. Link is below. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.